The hallway gleamed under the fluorescent lights, smelling faintly of floor polish and salt from the nearby sea. Tom Reeves' mop in one hand, bucket in the other, worked quietly before the day began. His uniform wasn't pressed or adorned with medals, just the faded gray of a janitor's coverall. To most people here, he was invisible. But to his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, he was everything. Every morning, Tom made sure she had breakfast, packed her lunch, and kissed her forehead before school. She thought he just worked at the Navy place. She didn't know that, once upon a time, he commanded Navy operations few dared to dream of. Now, he just cleaned the floors. Scene 2, the Admiral's arrival. The sound of boots echoed through the corridor, sharp, confident, and unmistakable. Admiral Richard Cole, the new base commander, strode in with a group of officers trailing him. He was the kind of man who owned every room he entered, tall, stern, and proud of his service. He spotted Tom, mop in hand, and smirked. "Morning, Chief of Clean," the Admiral said jokingly. "You ever served, old-timer?" Tom looked up slowly, his calm blue eyes betraying no emotion. "A little, sir," he replied simply. "Oh yeah," the Admiral chuckled. "What was your call sign, then, Mop Eagle?" The officers laughed. Tom gave a small, almost invisible smile. "Lone Eagle, sir," he said softly, before turning back to his mop. The laughter died instantly. Scene 3, the freeze. The Admiral's expression changed. His steps faltered. "Wait, what did you say?" Tom paused, looked up again. "Lone Eagle." For the first time, the Admiral's confident face went pale. He dismissed his men with a quiet wave. The corridor emptied, leaving only the two of them. "Lone Eagle, from Operation Silent Dagger?" the Admiral asked quietly. Tom nodded. Cole swallowed hard. "That mission, you saved 6 men when your team was ambushed. They said no one made it out except the air rescue. You were the air rescue, weren't you?" Tom looked away. "I was just doing my job." Scene 4, flashback montage, voiceover. Gunfire. Screams. Smoke. A downed helicopter in a foreign desert. Tom, then Commander Reeves, dragging injured SEALs through the dirt, calling in airstrikes while holding his bleeding shoulder. His co-pilot dead beside him. The radio crackled. "Lone Eagle, do you copy?" "I copy," he whispered, "but I'm not leaving them behind." He never did. He went down in flames, was listed missing in action for months, found barely alive by locals, and later honorably discharged due to severe injuries. When he returned home, his wife had passed from cancer. He was left with a baby girl and nothing else. So he took the only job he could find that gave him steady hours and time for her. Janitor. Scene 5, back in the hallway. The Admiral was silent for a long moment. "Why didn't you ever tell anyone?" Tom shrugged. "Didn't seem to matter. My mission now is raising Lily." Cole shook his head slowly. "You're a damn legend, Reeves. Half the men in this building owe their lives to you, and you're scrubbing floors." Tom gave a faint smile. "I'm not ashamed of honest work, sir. A clean floor saves lives too. People slip less." The Admiral actually laughed, then his eyes softened. "You know, we could use someone with your experience. There's an opening in veteran affairs here. It's not glamorous, but it pays well. You'd be working with recruits teaching survival, leadership." Tom blinked, surprised. "I appreciate it, but..." The Admiral interrupted. No buts, Lone Eagle. You taught me something just now. Rank fades. Character doesn't. Scene 6, later that evening, home with Lily. Lily ran into his arms as he opened the door. Daddy. You smell like pine cleaner again. She giggled. Tom laughed, lifting her up. That's the smell of hard work, sweetheart. She looked up at him with wide eyes. Did you have a good day? He thought about the Admiral's handshake. The look of respect. The possibility of a new chapter. I think, he said softly, today was one of the best days in a long time. Scene 7, the ceremony, 2 weeks later. In the base auditorium, sailors stood in silence as the Admiral took the stage. Before we begin, he said, I want to recognize someone who reminded me and all of us what real service looks like. He turned toward the side door. Tom stepped out, dressed in a clean suit, Lily holding his hand tightly. The Admiral saluted. To Commander Thomas Reeves, call sign Lone Eagle. A man who never stopped serving, even when no one was watching. The room erupted in applause. Lily's eyes shone with pride as she looked up at her father. Daddy, she whispered, you're a hero. Tom smiled, tears in his eyes. No, baby. Just someone who never gave up. Ending scene, voiceover. Sometimes, the greatest heroes don't wear medals or command fleets. Sometimes, they hold mops, raise children, and choose kindness over recognition. Because being a hero isn't about who salutes you, it's about who you stand up for when no one's looking. Final line. And as Admiral Cole would later say in every leadership speech after that day, never underestimate the quiet man in the corner. He might just be the lone eagle who once saved us all.